I think it's time we can get started. First of all, very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar and taking out time from your busy schedule. We are really happy to share this information and hosting you for today's topic. That is Introduction to S1000D IETM. IETM is Interactive Electronic Technical Manual. Please feel free to post your questions, any queries, any clarifications you need at any point of time. We'll be happily answering them. And if needed more details, we can definitely come back in like more offline discussions one-on-one. But definitely we are happy to answer all the queries and questions in this forum. Okay, thank you. Um, So today's topic we have chose is to share some knowledge on S1000D, which is a global standard for producing your technical publication manuals. This is more specific to aerospace and defense. The standard is more specific to aerospace and defense, but that is not a limited use. It can be implemented and leveraged in any industry, whether it is rail, semiconductor, consumer, industrial. So there is no boundary sets, there is no limit. And that's a kind of a beauty of this standard. It can be adaptable to any industry. So we'll go in the subsequent slides. We'll learn more about it. I'm just going to the next slide. Okay, so today we are Saraca Solutions. We are from Aerospace and Defense team. I'm Rohit Gupta. I am a sales head. I look after the sales at Saraca Solutions. I'm based out of India, Noida. And along with me, I have my friend Raj Singh. He's our technical publications delivery head. So we are the presenters for today. And Raj will be taking more of the technical queries and question and answers you may have. So this is about the speakers. A little bit more information about us. So I have overall 18 years of experience, and particularly in engineering services domain, I have 9 years of experience. And Raj, who is our veteran from this industry, he has more than 17 years of experience in aerospace and defense. And out of 17, particularly 10 years of experience in S1000D. And then, so S1000D is I would say, pretty legacy standard. Of course, it's right now a buzzword for everyone in India. It's getting globally accepted, and especially in India. And then Raj is a primary technical lead for all our S1000D programs. Thank you. So the agenda of webinar today is we are covering who we are, like means Saraca Solutions, who we are, what we do. Then we will talk about a little bit on our S1000D IETM end-to-end capabilities, what we can do in terms of providing the services and solutions. Then we'll move to understanding of S1000D. What is this all about? What is the standard? What is the I think someone has raised a hand. Umesh, can you just post your query in the chat so we'll answer it? Then we'll talk about the S1000D sample publications, which we have chosen for today's discussion, that is mountain bicycle. This exercise will really help you to understand what does this S1000D bring the value when you adopt this standard. Then we'll talk about the key features of IITM. What are the key features? Why this IITM is becoming necessary, and what are the value proposition it brings. Then we'll talk about a little bit on the benefits of S1000D. Then we have few case studies to share, and then we'll talk about the challenges and solutions S1000D is resolving. And then we'll have a Q&A session in the last. So we'll try to answer as much as questions, but we'll get back and we'll send you emailer if we will not able to answer any questions in today's discussion. So that will be the agenda for today. So I'm moving to the next. So Umesh, I saw your question. This meeting is getting recorded. So we'll most likely share the link with you so you can have access it later. Okay, I'm moving to the first topic of today's agenda, that is who we are. So Saraca Solutions, founded in 2014 as a trusted provider of engineering, digital and consulting services. So we are more than now 10 years old company, and we provide the engineering, digital and consulting services in following industry domains. So the first is aerospace and defense, then rail, then medical and pharma, then automotive, then semiconductor, and then consumer and industrial. So we have some core capabilities. We excel in technical publications, embedded systems, and mechanical engineering. So we have experience of managing end-to-end product developments in all these domains. And then we are delivering the turnkey projects and workforce solutions. Our expertise has earned the trust of leading global OEMs and tier one companies. So we are proudly say that we are already approved supplier for these services to Boeing, Collins, Pratt and Whitney, and Safran. These are just few names. So we are working with more than 25 plus Fortune 500 companies in different domains. So these are few names from our aerospace and defense vertical. We help these customers to like really achieve the compliance, scalability, and operational efficiency. At Saraca, we are committed to driving innovation and creating value for our partner across industries. So this is who we are. Our headquarters is based out in Noida, and we have a US entity. We are based out of US as well, and we have offices pan India and a customer globally. Okay, moving to the next topic, that is S1000D end-to-end capability. So it's really starts from, you can see my pointer on the input side. This cycle starts from receiving the inputs. So inputs as in comes in form of your engineering data, which are your drawings, your 3D models, and then your manuals. But if like the manuals has been already written, or we can also do the content writing for the manuals as per the required standards. But generally, the input comes as the manuals and the engineering data. So once these inputs being received, we do the impact analysis in terms of what kind of effort it required, what kind of timelines it required, so that analysis being taken care. And then the actual work gets started from the third block, which is create. So create, we do the XML editing, and then we do the 2D and 3D illustrators. We use third-party tools. As you can see, few renowned logos here, like R4I, which is a particularly very specialized software for managing your S1000D and IETMs. And then we use Adobe, PTC tools, and SolidWorks tool. So these are our all third-party partners in creating the contents. And then the complete PLM in terms of common source database. So we manage that. Again, these third-party tools are there for doing it. And then once the content writing, the creation has been done, then it goes to the publishing. Okay, just before that, so S1000D or IITM, when I talk about IITM, so interactive electronic technical manual, as the name suggests. Now, just imagine, just for example, when we talk about Airbus A320 airplane, it's so huge, it's so big. So if we can estimate the kind of a manual number of pages, it can go from like thousands to lakhs. So that kind of amount we are talking about. So when it comes to that volume, you really can't manage it through like printing the hard copies or carrying those manuals along with you, or even the PDF. And we'll come back to that, why the PDF is not so interactive, or why this journey of digitization needed for these manuals. So there is a very unique value propositions this technology brings to handle these manuals, to navigate through these manuals, and sometimes these manuals are so huge that you need some kind of a specialized tools to access these manuals. So when I say the XML editing, you will understand it in a later part of the discussion. What is why this XML editing is done, and what is the requirement. But just to understand for now, this data is so huge, and S1000D transform this data into very small packages. It's like being coded from like Word file to this XML language files, and in a very small packets, and then this data will get managed in the product lifecycle management tools and the CSDBs. Once you create the data, once you manage the data, you can produce the output as per your requirement. So you can produce it in three ways. So one could be PDF. You can publish a complete book or some chapters of it. Then you can publish it HTML to see in the web page applications, or you can print it in the XML source file. And I will come back to that, why XML source files are important and why S1000D are important. The example is this. Let's say you let's just take an example of again a airplane, Airbus A320. Now, Airbus A320 has a lot of tier one suppliers. So somebody is supplying the engine, somebody is supplying the cockpit, somebody is supplying the landing gear. So they are asking these manuals, these digital manuals from their tier one companies. And when they ask these manuals from their tier one companies, they produce these manuals and they provide it in the XML file. So these can be integrated on a single platform. And this XML is being understood by all the third party tools which are like existed in the world. So that is why the XML output is important. So when you are a OEM and you are asking your digital manuals from your different suppliers, so you can ask them to provide you in the XML source file. So you can publish, you can integrate them at one place. Then once you publish it, then you can see this IETM in the specialized viewer. So we'll come to that as well. And this can be accessed online and offline. We'll show you how does it look like, what kind of what we are talking about. We'll show you that how the viewer looks like, how you can see, and what are the features of this specialized viewers. You can see your manuals, your digital manuals. And what is level 4? We will also explain that. So Saraca has a full end-to-end capability of uh, producing these manuals and then converting them to the digital manuals output. Okay, I'm moving to the next slide for now. And okay, so let's talk a little bit about what is S1000D. So S1000D is an international specification for technical publications. It is widely used in the aerospace and defense, and even the other sectors, as I mentioned in the beginning, that it is widely getting used in rail, semiconductor, consumer, and industrial domains as well. Then it is an XML specification for preparing, managing, and publishing your technical information for a product. S1000D is maintained by a steering committee, which includes the board members from ASD, that is United States Association, and then AIA, which is Aerospace Industries Association, and then ATA, Air Transport Association, which is from Europe. Now, just to simply understand the flow of S1000D, So as you can see, here is the raw input, which are your manuals, which are your PDF manuals, and that is unstructured. So what does S1000D software, specialized software does? It structures that data into data modules. We'll see that in a later slides. Then this structured data gets maintained and stored in a common source database, that is a PLM of it. And then from that common source database, these XML files, this DM is the data module. This goes to the different outputs, as we have seen, like IETP is your interactive electronic technical publications, then PDF, then your learning management systems, and then you can just put it in the CSDB for exchange, data exchange. Like as I mentioned, if you need to just supply the XML files, the source files. So this is a little bit on the S1000D standard, what it is and how the flow looks like. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the structure of S1000D. So data module, it is very important to understand this. What is data module? The data module is defined as a standalone information unit. It contains descriptive, procedural, and operational data for a platform, system, or a component. It is produced in such a form that it can be stored and retrieved from a common source database by using the data module code as the identifier. It is produced in HTML up to S1000D issue 3.0 or XML according to specific schemas, or all of which are provided with the specification. Now, data module comprises of two parts. So one is the identification and status part and the actual content part. The identification and status section provides information how it is getting managed in the CSDB, what is the applicability, how it is managing the quality assurance process and retrieval process. And then when it comes to content part, so you can find the content information as listed here. It can be like descriptional, procedural, fault information of that part. It's illustrated part data, its schedule, wiring, process module, okay, uh, process module, and then some business rule exchange and the common source database. So for this, let me take you towards a very simple example and to connect all the dots. It might be a lot of curiosity might have been already generated so far. What is S1000 and what we are talking about? But this example will really help you to understand what it is. So let's talk about this sample publication. How does it look like? So we have taken a very standard reference data set, which is a mountain bicycle. Let's imagine this is the product for which we are producing the manuals. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So I'm just showing you this for the PDF, how it comes in the PDF. So you will go to the viewer as well. How does it look like in the application? But just to keep it simple, let's understand how does this look like in the manual, in the PDF publication manual. Okay. So now you can see here. I just take little pause here. You can see this table. Like you can see the title, bicycle, description of how it is made. So you have a data module code number for this. And let's say bicycle, description of function. So again, there is a data module code associated with this information. Then so forth, so on. Like when you go down this list, let's say you wanted to understand how to ride a bicycle. So that information has been stored in this data module code. Now this data module code, how does this data module codes get generated? This is the information, it comes from S1000D standard that defines. And S1000D standard defines these data module code for, I would say, every single product available on Earth for your aerospace and defense and space application, whether it is air, land, and sea. So that is the kind of a vastness of this standard it defines. And now you can adopt this common nomenclature for any product. So it's like we are talking about aerospace and defense, and we are seeing it bicycle, because the functions, the operations, kind of the high level, it remains same. It does not make any difference. So it is more about how you are structuring the data. So that structure has been defined by S1000D. So, and why it is getting splitted in all the data modules, we'll learn about this. What is the value proposition it bringing? Why you need to split all this information in various data modules. It is very important. Um, so when I go down this list, you can see that how many data modules has been generated for a simple product like bicycle. So you can see here almost, if I can count, it will be around 50 or more than that. So we will just go on any one to understand it more. So I'm just going it and clicking it one. Okay, so let's say riding a bicycle. So I think everyone has ride a bicycle or maybe riding it nowadays also. People are really being health conscious. The bicycle is now a very, very kind of a thing which we ride almost on every day, majority of the people. So let's click on this data module. Okay, so now when I click to that data module, it shows about this information, bicycle, riding a bicycle. And this is a process data module. Now it talks about a little bit more. We'll skip that. Okay, now this is the first section of the data module. So we talked about its information and status. So it shows, okay, normal operation procedure for the crew, table of content, list of tables, references, pre-write inspections. So what do you have to inspect before you write? So all that kind of structured information it displays. And then when I go to its, so again, some more checks, some warnings you want to put. Do not write with a cracked stem if something is wrong. So that kind of warning messages you can put and you can bring it in. So this is all defined under S1000D. How you have to present this information and why it is important to being having a structured information and a global standard to be followed. Because if you are giving this manual, if you are selling this bicycle in India, in Europe, in US, in Australia, so the language is common, and it's a very, very simplified English language. So we call it STE, Simplified Technical English Language. So that's been followed. So it has been understood by everyone and it is standardized across the globe. So that's where the S1000D standard comes. Now let's go to the next page, content information. Now here it comes to the table of contents again, and then let's say now the procedure. So how does it define? So it is going step by step. Clean the bicycle. Clean the bicycle with water. Use the brush from the specialized tool set. So it mentioned about there is a specialized tool set. It has been came along with the bicycle with which you have to clean it. Let the bicycle dry. Lubricate the bicycle. Spray the general lubricant to these moving parts. Remove the lubricant. Then it's going to the next set of information. So this is an example. So this is an example how structured it is, how detailed it is, and imagine this is for every part and every piece of information. This is like how it defines. So just for an example, so it really defines all things in a manner from S1000D, that your warning, cautions, your pre-checks, your all procedural information. Just few more examples. Please feel free if you have any curiosity question on this. Just few more example I will take. I will take one example from the illustrated parts data. How does it look like? So there's a like when you provide when you have the 2D drawings and the 3D models, you can convert them to the isometric illustrations. So these isometric illustrations, the kind of we call it, the person who does this illustration work is a technical illustrator. They do this illustration and annotation work. They prepare the bill of materials, and they define all the parts available in the bike and with their complete details, with their part numbers, with their units, and with their description. So this is another set of information, and it also defined by S1000D, how you have to structure this data, how you have to standardize this data. So there will be a standardization across your products and across the globe. Okay. So this was a sample we wanted to share with you, and we'll go into more details. But I believe I'm just believing that now it is becoming a little simple to understand how does this S1000D work and what difference it brings when you adopt S1000D standards. Okay, so I shown you the PDF version of it. Now let's see the digital version of it. What we are calling is IETM, Interactive Electronic Technical Manual. So I have already opened my application. So you can see on the very top, Interactive Electronic Technical Publication. So you need a password, you need a user login credentials to access these application. It's a desktop application. And here you can see that I've just taken one example. So here you can see that all these data modules has been structured on my left side. So the information about the part, the general description, the motor description, the control panel, the operating instruction, the motor operating instruction, the brake, storage instruction and lubrication, service and maintenance instruction, installation and commissioning, troubleshooting, your illustrated parts catalog. So this all structure has been defined by S1000D. Now the part what we are talking about, let's go and see that. So I'm just clicking the first data module, which is a general description of the part. So I'm opening it. And this you can use it offline. So why it is very important to use it offline, I will explain that. So now what you are seeing in the PDF, now you are seeing it here on the digital version of it. So this is a anchor capstan, that is your ship capstan, and here you can see all the descriptional information of it. So here you can put all the technical data and all the literature for it. And this has been fully encrypted in an XML language. You cannot decode it. So now this viewers comes with a lot of features. So I'll just give you one example, what kind of features I'm talking about. So just give me a second here. Okay. I have to reshare it. Just give me a second to include the audio. Okay. So this is one of the feature I'm explaining, the bi-directional hotspots. So why this? What is the interactive content in it? So just uh, have a look on this video.
This is an example of the R4I viewer bidirectional hotspot capability. As we can see, I have open here an illustrated parts data module with a list of parts in the right-hand side and a diagram with callouts on the left-hand side. Hovering the mouse over the parts in the table will highlight the respective part callout on the illustration. Alternatively, hovering the mouse over the callout in the illustration will highlight its respective part in the table.
So you see that there is a bidirectional hotspotting. So once like your maintenance engineer or your service engineer is referring to this manual, so it will be providing a kind of a interactive feeling to the user that let's say if they are clicking on the part, then the part is getting highlighted on the image, and if they are clicking on the image, the part is getting highlighted here. So that's a very unique feature, very kind of interactive level. It comes. Let's see one more video of the feature, one another feature.
This is an example of linking parts in an illustrated parts data module to their respective maintenance procedures. As you can see, we have open an illustrated parts data module with the respective parts listed in a table on the right-hand side. The first two parts have a link established, which you can see here is designated in this column. Selecting this link will open up the respective maintenance procedure allocated to that part. Data modules that are linked to that part in the IPD data module are determined in the XML code.
Okay, I'll just
Linking.
yeah. So the person what they are trying to explain is that just imagine again kind of a very heavy manuals and detailed manuals or a simple manual, and let's say you are on the illustration data module and you are seeing the bill of material here. Now from here directly you want to access its let's say general description or its technical specification or its maintenance specification, so you can embed those links here in the right in the table here. So this search will be very faster, very interactive, and very user friendly. So these all features makes it very different with your PDF experiences, especially. Okay, we'll come back to the PowerPoint. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions, if anyone has any curiosity question on this till now. Okay, moving to the next. So we have touched a little bit what we have seen in last 5 minutes. But apart from those two key features, there are lot many features, lot many key features of interactive electronic technical manuals. So the one is administrator control. So you will why I'm saying that it is very important to have this offline. Just imagine, let's say you are in a defense. This Indian Navy or Indian Army or our forces or any forces globally, they are using this in a remote regions. These manuals and these products. So there is no accessibility to internet. So these applications work offline. You just need a simple plug and play solution. You have to put it in the kind of a flash drive, all the setup, and it's almost like free. So there is no charge to it. You can distribute as many as copies to your customers, to your users, and this will be fully access control. You cannot log in without the credentials, and it cannot be decrypted. It's like if like let's say if someone has the source file, XML files, even those cannot be decrypted without these specialized softwares. Then you have the bookmark and annotation management. So let's say you are using it in the intranet environment. You are using it in a host environment. You have hosted on the intranet. Now, let's say somebody is reviewing these manuals and they are putting some notes. So those notes, those annotations, those bookmarks will be can be private and can be public as well. So everyone can see it. Let's say if I'm a maintenance, I have a team of maintenance, 25 engineers, and I wanted to give some more details. So I can just put the bookmark and a note on that, and everyone can have a look on it. So that kind of feature it comes with. And then hyperlinking for navigation. We have just seen this example, like how you can do the hyperlinking. You can access the parts data directly from the bill of material, directly from the illustrated parts data module. Then very, very advanced search options. And it is having, I would say, little AI as well. So once you search, it maintains the history as well. And the search, it gives you that kind of AI inbuilt feature in these viewers, which is like not, you'll not get those in the PDFs or any other outputs. Then hotspotting, we have seen it, that what is the hotspotting means, why it is important. And then manual access to the integrated PDF viewer. So you have the digital viewer. Let's say, just for an example, if I will go back to this thing here. So I have a feature. So only this chapter, this data module, what I can do, I can print directly from here, and it can be saved as a PDF document. So it can be like it can be your individual copy of any subset or any specific information you wanted to have a quick access. So you don't need to go multiple times and log in, and you can just keep it with you. So you can have this chapter printed in the PDF at your end. Okay. Then user-friendly dashboards, as I said, user activity history. So let's say you are again hosting it in the internet environment and there are multiple users to it. So you will have the log book for that, who has accessed it, who has logged in it, who has downloaded the stuff. So you can, like, in a bigger organization, it is very important to have this log history. And then of course you will have your help guide for using the items effectively. So those kind of key feature this IETM comes with. Okay, moving to the next slide. So now let's understand the benefits of S1000D, why it is important, and what kind of value proposition it brings. So as I explained that, let's say just for example, just let's go back to the PDF again. So here we have produce these all data modules. Now, let's say your company makes lot of bicycles variants you produce. So now you don't need to really uh, like recreate this data. So what you can do, you can simply call this data module into your new variant of the bicycle directly from the common source database. So that kind of, and of course you have to do a little bit changes in the content, in the maybe in the part number of terms or in any small details, but you don't need to recreate the whole thing. And the managing of this data becomes so effective and so error free because it is managing through the PLM. It is not a manual process of managing this data or combining these data modules and integrating into your various models of the bicycle. Okay, so that kind of authoring benefits it's bring. So it is modular. It's allow reuse up to 40%, reduction in update cost up to 30%. So that's like kind of a global data. Then training benefits. So it's a single user interface. It's very standardized across the globe, and everybody understand this kind of a user interface and kind of information. So the training benefits a lot, and the single method of production is this synergy. So once you finalize that you have to follow S1000D, you can make your own business rules, your own schemas, your own referencing guidance documents, and all the big companies does that. They really standardize this process as per S1000D, and then they just, it's like kind of a very, very productive and effective work for everyone. And then the life cycle cost benefits, it's reduce the creation cost due to data reuse. It reduces your document distribution cost. Now imagine if you have to, like, of course, we have all seen that the hard copy, you have to print it, you have to circulate it, you have to ship it. But with this, it is just you can put it on the cloud and everyone can download it directly from there and access it. So there is very, very, I would say very, very minimal or low cost for document distribution. Then it is having the wider access and more efficient retrieval of the documentation by the end user. It increases the data integrity and the generation of a better quality documents. So these are all benefits, and of course, it's very this XML language Storage is memory requirement is very less. It's like and very easily data exchanged and very smaller packets being generated. So once you have a heavy manuals, heavy files, your illustration, so it really minimizes that storage space as well. So these are few key benefits of S1000D. Okay, so just a couple of case studies. We did it, Saraca. We have a lot of case studies, but for now, just we are talking about a couple of them. So it's for a global leader in a defense industry. The product was small UAV, and the task was to create all the manuals, such as your troubleshooting manual, TSM, we call it. It's a very acronym for these manuals. Your AMM is aircraft maintenance manual. Your CMM is component maintenance manual. IPC is illustrated part catalog. So we produce all these digital manuals for this small UAV, and we owned this product from end to end. Even we produced the manuals for this, and then we digitized it as per S1000D, and we have successfully delivered this to the end customer, and they are like happily using it. So we did all the work. So this is one of the case study we did it for our defense customer. Then the second, I would say, this is a product which is like your, I would say, the big room size gun. So it's a land application. So here we have seen the application is air. Uh, the product is for the air, and here you can see the product is for the land. So it's a gun for a defense industry again. So I would say the very similar project. Of course, for this product, the manuals were very, I would say in numbers, it was less than 1,000. But for this product, the manuals were like more than 10,000 pages. So it's a kind of a room size gun we are talking about, a very heavy artillery gun. So, and even we did it in the Hindi language. So the user handbook was in Hindi language. So that kind of work we have done for our customers, and it's been widely used. Okay. So let's talk about a little bit on the what challenges and problems the S1000D and IETM has been resolving. So the challenge before S1000D adopting is like complex data structure, or I would say there is no data structure. It is like your own rule how you are putting, and there really when I talk about the other industry to best of my knowledge. There are no really very standards written that how you are preparing your manuals. So it's become very easy when you have something to guide upon and how the things has been defined. So it's really simplified the process. Then it is very simplified things for the maintenance personnel. Now, when we talk about a very small product or a medium product or a large product, it becomes so interactive and so engaging that maintenance people enjoys using this. And I can tell you the future is this. And there is a very, I would say, a kind of a requirement coming in India on adopting of this S1000 and ITMs. So they have understood, I would say it's a cultural change coming in India right now. And everybody or the end customer, especially our forces, our users, they are like demanding that we need the digital versions of our manuals for a easy access, for a simplified access, for more interactive and engaging experience with these maintenance and servicing informations. Then the global standardization with S1000D. So there is no standardization available. So it becomes the global standardization. We have our Indian, I think someone has asked in the registration that what is the other standard in comparison to S1000D? So I would say there is one standard, and which is an Indian standard, which is JSG 0852. We can put that in the chat, but that is an Indian standard, and I believe that it is getting superseded with S1000D. So because it's global now, as we all know, under Make in India and Self-Reliant India campaign, really we want to export our products. So once we start exporting, whether it is consumer, whether it is semiconductor, whether it is rail, or whether it is aerospace and defense, we need to go global. So we need to adopt global standards like S1000D. We cannot supply our products with the manuals complying to our Indian standards. So it's a really need of our that this S1000D is the way forward. Then, of course, the cost reduction, like in distribution, we have seen this, and there is a lot of data duplication when it comes to maintaining these standards through a PDF or through Word files. It's really a lot of data duplication, a lot of chances of error because there is no PLM involved, and it's really like human-oriented process and procedures. So you really can't control the quality and the standardization, and there are a lot of chances of having the error. So it enhanced that reusability in a more simplified and more effective way. So these are few solutions. So just I believe we have 10 minutes, and I think we are open for Q&A. But before that, I just really would like to share one like kind of a scenario, and just imagine like we all like fly very frequently in a corporate world. We all fly very frequently. We use carriers like Airbus and Boeing or in our daily life. So just imagine, let's talk about Airbus A320. This plane has been sold globally. So Indigo is buying it, Air India is buying it, and Tata Vistara is buying it, or SpiceJet is buying it, or Go Air is buying it. So this, and let's say for Indigo, let's say if Indigo is buying 10 planes. So in 10 planes also, these all 10 planes are not same. Maybe one has some other engine, and maybe another has some another engine, and maybe another has some another landing gear or something. Some customization has been done. So for a company like Airbus, it is very much needed that they need to control this process of distributing these manuals and maintaining these manuals. Now imagine, this is just a very small example. The quantum of work is getting generated to manage to create these manuals, and then let's say now the bill of material of a one variant of a similar plane, and let's say there is some delta, 10% delta in the another plane. Now you don't need to create that 90% of information again because you have already done it, and it is available, it is stored in your database. Now you just need to reuse it to build your another variant, and whatever has been changed, you need to just do that change only. And it happens in a so controlled environment in specialized softwares that there is no chance of error in terms of maintaining the data, in terms of distributing the data. So that's why it's very important for nowadays, for now, that S1000D and IETM is like getting adopted worldwide, and especially in India. Okay, I think I'm good. We have 7 minutes left, so we can have some question and answers. If anyone has some questions, please you can post it in the chat or Q&A, so we can try to answer those. Okay, I can see few questions. Just give me a second. Okay, nothing as of now. Okay, so I have first question from Monjoy Philip. Thank you, Monjoy, for joining this. I believe, yes, it is possible to link the existing inventory. Of course, there is you need a little bit more specialized tool to do that. It's more kind of an enterprise solution, and definitely it can be done. Okay. Second question I have got from Dhwani Sharma. She's asking that what is the difference between ETA iSpec 2200 and S1000D? So Raj, would you like to take that?
Yes, sir. So there is a basic difference like ATA ISPEC 2200 and S1000D. Like ATA ISPEC 2200 used for commercial aviation, and for S1000D it used widely. like aerospace, defense, and other sector, medical, heavy industry. Another is like based on data structure is based on the modeler in S1000D, where in the ATA ISPEC 2200 it is a ATA chapter based. So we cannot create a module wise like Rohit already told in discussion. In modular database we can reuse the data, okay, but here we cannot reuse it. So you have to again create the data and it will be duplicated. So that is a basic difference between these two standards.
Okay, so Dhwani, just to add on that, when this journey got started back in the US and Europe, like countries, so they started from like I would say ETA standards, and then slowly that ETA 100 get moved to ETA ISPEC 2200. But nowadays, the legacy data, which is on ISPEC 2200, it is slowly have started transitioning to S1000D as well. So the companies who are having their old legacy data on ISPEC 2200, they are moving to S1000D. So it's slowly and steadily happening. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, this ISPEC 2200 also will be buried down with S1000D. Okay, I think I have a question from Mohammed Sabah that how to get started learning creation of IETM. Okay, so Mohammed, there are like you need to go through some trainings. You want to choose kind of a role you would like to go forward with it. That is, there are, I would say, there are two main roles in creating these manuals. So one is the technical author, and then second is the technical illustrator. So there are sometimes some people does both, but you can choose one, and then you can learn the software and you can learn S1000D, that how to do this XML coding in this software and complying to S1000D standards. Okay. Any more questions from anyone?
Okay, right. One more question. Okay,
Yeah.
from Usha ji. Could you please tell why S1000D is data module based and what's exactly is data module?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Please, I will add. Yeah.
Yeah. So Usha, S1000D already explained during our webinar. It is the tool. S1000D is based on the data module, and data module is the self-content body. Okay. So whenever we are saying self-content, like it is the, suppose you are writing any content. So you can treat as a separate unity. Okay. So no need to, if suppose here in the
Okay.
data module, you can see the for various description, document title, like description how it is made, description of the function. You can see the data code, like all data code 041. It's come for the description of the system parts or assembly or disassembly. So that part will not come like function or installation or removal. So based on this code, it is described in S1000D standards. We can categorize the title for the parts assembly, disassembly, or product. Product. So that's why it is because of the standard it is defined, and also why it is actually required. So I'll tell you. Suppose like already Rohit explained during each session, if you are revising any content and it is data module. So no need to revise the complete PDF here in the cycle mountain cycle. You have to just update one data, and it will be reflect every places.
Okay. So Usha, just to summarize it for you, why it is data module based? Because it is more easy to manage and split your data into various small packets. So it is very easy to identify, to generalize it. And once you have, like, let's say, complete set of information, you can break it into multiple data modules, 50, 100, 1000, and it is very easy to identify the information contains in this data module. So that's why it has been based as data model approach. And the second question you asked, that what exactly is data module? So you can see on screen, then let's say what is the data module. So we are talking about one piece of information about the bicycle, description of how it is made. So this is one piece of information, and this one piece of information break, and then this against this one piece of information, there is one data module code. So once you click on this data module code, so you will get all the information related to how it has been made, captured in this data module. I hope that answers your question. Okay, what is DMRL? What it is, sir? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it. So DMRL is nothing but a data module required list. Okay. So here you can see in the data module code, all the code are required to build a publication for this mountain cycle. So this is the list of the code, nothing but a DMRL.
Just a list.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's time we can take one last question if anyone has, or maybe please feel free. You will get the link and you will get a email reference as well. If you have more questions or if you'd like to connect offline one-on-one, we can happy to have those discussions with anyone. Okay, I think we are good. Thank you everyone for joining today's session, and it was very engaging. Thanks for the question, and the questions which we have received through registrations will definitely prepare some kind of a FAQ, and will publish it for your use and for your future references. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you everyone.